So, quick word about reference. Your artist is going to need to know what things look like, and especially if you're the writer, and especially if you're the expert in the story, um, your artist is going to know what things need to look like. We're going to look here is Hergé, who did Tintin. His archives, this is the 30s and 40s, were full of photographs and clippings from National Geographic and other places, and you can see how these criminals in these stocks turned into Tintin in these stocks, and this little advertisement turned into this little advertisement here. He was always going for accuracy. This chair winds up in this setting there. This um, street scene in China winds up here. This ship. He's even copying exact references in or exact compositions in a lot of cases, just to keep the realism high. He based a character on a real doctor. Sometimes, in your case, you may need to base a character on somebody, or maybe you're doing autobiography or nonfiction, in which case you want to get across some realism. These are projected spacesuits. These are from the, I think, the late 40s, and projected space bed, which Tintin winds up using. This is a little out of order, but when the artists working on Bambi started working, there we go, they brought in a deer. It's a low-res image, but you can see they brought in this deer so everybody could see how a deer moved and what a deer looked like. And then that became that. Milt Caniff was famous for, there's his studio. All of these filing cabinets are full of those kinds of photographs from National Geographic and other sorts of places. They're probably also full of photos that he himself took or staged, such as these two. He would take a day or two per week and hire models to pose in various poses that he knew he was going to need for the next 2 weeks. So you'd see artists, you'd see models in bomber jackets and military uniforms and femme fatales and things like that. This is also a little out of order, but Leela, my wife Leela Corman, was setting a book on the Lower East Side in the 19-teens through the 1920s. These are kids from the Lower East Side. This is a pushcart in the same time period. And that's some of the imagery became this and this. She took tons, she had lots of reference, took lots of trips to the Lower East Side Tenement Museum. Here, for the scenes set in 1920, I forget, 3 or so, ballroom scenes. There's also that, which she had some reference for, and then we see these ballroom scenes. There's our staircase and our curtains. This car, she had references for there, was collecting those kinds of references. You may, this was my 15 minutes of fame. For some reason, my friend Ed Brubaker wanted to kill me in a story, and so here I am going manic, and then there I am with blood coming out of my eyes, but I had to send the artist pictures of myself. I'm not sure why. So it's basically the main thing to think about is your artist is going to need some of your expertise. If it's nonfiction and it's about yourself, they're going to need to know what you and your family members or whomever look like. If it's nonfiction, they're going to need to know what the people look like, what the apparatus look like, what the time period look like, what the costumes look like, all sorts of things like that. That's just a simple survey of reference.